We'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's take a moment of silence. Okay, I call the meeting to order. And we're going to look at the minutes. I think we have 3 sets of minutes. Last regular meeting, Friday's special meeting, and then the closed session. Look for any changes that we need to make or corrections before we approve them. I'd entertain a motion if you read through them.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes.
I have a motion. I hear a second.
Second.
Second by Jamie. Roll call. Dean?
Yes.
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Yes.
John?
Yes.
They're approved.
No, I didn't say yes.
The senior report. Is that read out loud or we just?
I'm sorry, Becky couldn't be here tonight. This is October Senior Center report. Dining room 60 plus, 1,872 meals. Dining room under 60, 38 meals. Home delivered freezer meals, 2,625, and monthly total meals, 4,535.
Very good. Chief Gibbons, Fire Department.
How are y'all this evening?
Good.
Well, we ended October with 109 calls. Currently on pace, I think today, 4 or 5. We're somewhere around 1275 for the year. I think we're on pace to beat last year, so just getting busier. Be wrapping up our Fire 1 and 2 class this weekend in West Plains. Got an agreement with West Plains and the state of Missouri, the state fire marshal's office. They're gonna come down and bring their exterior props that they purchased to use, and we'll use West Plains Tower to get all their live burns done. The evaluators are all lined up and everything, so we'll get that lined up and done, and that class will be done again this year. I'm waiting on the arrival of 10 sets of new fire gear for our trained and certified people on the roster. I'm a big proponent of making sure we have the right stickers on the right stuff that people are using and making sure it's all in date. Dale, you know all about that. Got back Saturday evening from the instructor conference at Lake of the Ozarks for state fire instructors. Took the instructor 3 class. Class went really well. A lot of good information that I can bring back here and create my own curriculums on classes and stuff now. And a lot of good networking with other fire departments throughout the state. So really appreciate the ability to go take that class. Thank you. And we had trunk or treat on the square there. They handed out a lot of candy. Seems like everybody had a good time. So, and then last thing I've got is invitation for all the council members and staff here. We're doing our annual award banquet on the 21st of November at the Senior Center at 6 p.m. I can send you guys out a text or whatnot. Make sure you guys get it. We're gonna be doing pulled pork, smoked chicken, barbecue baked beans, smoked mac and cheese, and handing out the firefighter and officer of the year awards.
Where did you say this was gonna take place?
2 Fridays from now,
Senior
the
center?
21st.
The senior center?
Yeah. At 6 p.m., so. But other than that, that's really all I have for October. It's been busy, but nothing worth writing home about.
Okay, very good. Any questions for Chief Givens?
I just want to commend you for your continued search for education and bringing that to our firemen. I know being part of the committee that helped select you, that was the hope, is that you would bring that and continue that here in the city of Mount Grove. So I just want to commend you for continuing to do that.
Well, if I can get it, I can teach it.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
So,
Thank you for that.
Thanks, Chief. Police Department report. Chief Rexel.
How are you guys?
Good.
We were a little slower this month. I think it was just under 700 calls for service. But we had a lot of difficult calls this month. I want to bring up something real quick that Carolyn touched on earlier. She's made the comment that she doesn't see a whole lot of our drug arrests on Facebook, on our page. And I want to explain to you why I don't do that. A couple years ago, we had arrested someone, and I had posted it on our page, and the mom ended up calling me and told me her kid was being bullied at school because people had seen that. So I don't post those. So unless you guys direct me to do it, I will not do it. So,
And Chief, actually, I was talking about in your report.
oh, yeah, I know, but you
Oh,
had said
yeah.
that you had saw,
Well, the county,
seen,
or the
yes,
county,
yeah.
I see county
Right.
puts it on
but
there,
that's why we
yeah,
don't.
Yeah.
But it has been a busy month. We got just over 2 ounces of dope off the street. In fact, we executed a search warrant this morning about 5 a.m. and it was okay. Last week was a really good one where we got 2 ounces by itself on that one. And it was a really good hit. But as far as what's going on in our department, I'm finishing up, well, I'm still waiting on a grant that I applied for on cyber crimes. It's computer software where I can dump cell phones, things like that. Hopefully I get to hear something on that in the next few weeks. We're closing out our grant for the law enforcement block grant where we received right at $9,000 that we purchased some much needed gear. The vehicles, the 2 vehicles, they are nearly complete. There are some siren brackets that were back ordered and we're waiting on those to come in. So I can't put those in service yet without sirens. So that is all I'm waiting on. I am 2 officers short now. So we are in the hiring process looking for some applicants. Hopefully we get some, that's all I can hope for, but, and I know Clint brought up trunk or treat. Not only were we on the square, but we were also doing compliance checks for sex offenders, and we made 0 arrests for that, so I was happy about that.
How's the Shop of the Hero fundraiser?
Applications are turned in. They closed on November 1st, and we have a bunch. So we're trying to get our funding together still. So if you know anybody that's wanting to make a donation, please do. So, and there's a bunch of kids that are needing some help.
Looks like there's a lot less red on the nuisance report too.
Yes,
Looks like that's going very well.
A lot of it is, and he's been doing like follow-up on compliance, like we've had a trailer park that's been an issue. He's following up on stuff like that, which will not reflect in that report whatsoever. Some other ones that we've given some time to that we're working on it, still following up on those. There are some grass ones starting to come out again, so you'll see those in this next month.
Yeah, it looks good though. Lots of green, lots of
The
compliance.
question I had for you the other day about the sign that I saw with
Yes.
the, it's gone.
Good. I would like to say it's because of us, but it is not, because, so, and let me just explain that real quick. There was an offensive flag that was up in Brenda's neighborhood, and I understand why she wanted something done about it, but we cannot violate First Amendment rights. As bad as they look, we just cannot. So it's freedom of speech, and you guys don't want to write a check for that one. So
I have
I'll
to
just be
Let
wonder-
honest.
us down.
But I have to wonder if our forefathers intended for us to have the freedom to use vulgarity.
I
Well,
think that all the
unfortunately,
time.
unfortunately, our courts do not follow what, they have a different interpretation, so.
It's a living document.
Yeah. But I don't want anyone to think that's the reason why we weren't doing something about it, because we just can't legally.
And Chief, I know that you guys have, looks like anyway, from some of the county posts, that you guys have been busy assisting and working with the special ops group and county and
Yeah.
besides here in Mountain Grove, so.
Yeah, and we're actually adding to that group. We're doing a major case squad along with it to, that way, you know, if it's a major felony, that group's gonna go out and investigate together. And obviously, more eyes on scene are better. And using the experienced people that we have to get those cases wrapped up. So that's in the process as well.
May I ask you one more question about
Absolutely.
that same place?
Absolutely.
There's another sign hanging there with the United States flag on it flying upside down. Is that protected?
I'm gonna say it is. So, but I would be happy to check with our legal. If he was here tonight, I'd ask him, but I would be happy to ask and check, but,
Okay.
so, it's, I don't like it, I'll just be honest with you, so.
There's
Well,
flags.
it just
They
looks so
could- You
disrespectful.
could even burn them, you know,
Yeah.
You
if
can
on
burn them,
TV.
right? Yeah, if you can
So-
burn them, you can bang them up.
To wrap
I'm
music.
sure.
Well, the
Right.
president has put a stop to the burning of the flags, hasn't he? Because you can go to jail now for it.
I think it's gonna have to be a more liberal state than the state of Missouri that they're going to jail, so.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you, Chief.
yes, sir.
Citizens Advisory Report, Cheyenne Smith.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We had 10 at our meeting last Monday. 6 of those were from our board, and we had a few of you participate as well. Again, thanks for coming. Some of our board members had questions that you guys were able to address right then, and that saves back and forth time, so thank you. We were just basically summarizing, not a very busy meeting. Topics of discussion, we're still scheduling events, educational events for the use tax, and community outreach efforts, and how we were gonna direct those. So we finalized our series of upcoming events. So we already attended the Y Chamber meeting this past Thursday. No negative comments, and trifold brochures are out. Several businesses are putting them out. So if you see some out, smile and wave and, and educate. December 3rd, coming up here, we will be hosting a meal at the Senior Center. It's going to be on Meatloaf Day. We couldn't get in our chicken salad day yet, but we're going to hand out our brochures, go over the use tax, show the 2-minute and 19-second educational video if possible, and we're available to set up. So any of you that would like to participate, we would like to have at least 1 or 2 of you present for that, if not all. We would greatly appreciate it. So if you want to put that on your calendars. January 8th is the citywide presentation, our town hall meeting. We decided that it would be a little more appropriate for space-wise to have at the high school. So we've already got it set up for January 8th at 6 p.m. at the high school. We would like a city post to go out about that meeting so people can start sharing it. And we're also going to get it in the newspaper. That way people will show up. That's our goal. We want people to have questions so we can educate them in the right direction. So January 8th, 6 p.m., Mountain Grove City Hall, and we would like you guys to be present as well.
Mountain Grove High School, right?
Yes.
Not City Hall.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
yes.
that's okay.
Which room in the high school, which
We're gonna use the cafeteria.
cafeteria?
And we
Cheyenne.
can celebrate Alderman, Carmen's birthday that day too.
Okay. We'll sing happy birthday to you.
Perfect, yeah. The gentleman from Missouri Municipal League called me over the weekend, and he will not be able to be at the January 8th. He said if you can do January the 15th, he would
Okay.
be, but he's got court on the 8th, so
Okay.
he will not be back.
Okay, so the high school said that they were not opposed to the 15th. There was just another event going on
Yeah.
in the arena, so
Okay.
it would be packed.
Okay.
However, they were not against it. So
Okay.
I will get with Annetta and have her contact them
Okay.
and make sure that we can move that.
Okay, yeah, and I'm okay with leaving it as the 8th. I just want you to, I just wanted everybody to know that he would not be available that day, so.
I do think the understanding was that we were looking forward to having a state representative there
Yeah.
to explain in detail a
Okay,
little more
okay.
about it.
All right.
Correct? That was kind of our consensus.
all
So
right.
we will look at switching that. So
Potentially the 15th, maybe.
potentially the 15th, and I will get back with you on
Yeah,
that.
you wanted to shoot me a text or call,
So
that's
let's
fine.
not make that post yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great. February 20th, the Christians Women Together group is gonna meet at 10 a.m. We're also gonna meet with them and do an educational spiel and pass out trifold brochures if you would like to attend. And then we also, in March again, we're gonna follow up at the senior center with a different meal. So those are our list of events, and you'll see at the bottom that we've requested that if you have any other strategies, any other places you think we need to target or attend, please let us know so we can start working on that. And then we also, it was brought up in our last meeting, if you were there, that we did have some questions, some of the board members, about the feedback that we are getting and what negative feedback has come. And it's basically generated from how you guys will prioritize the spending of the use tax. That's the main kickback that we've gotten. Having some of you there, it was able to help eliminate some of the questions we have. But
Well,
we
you know,
just,
that track that you gave us is excellent in explaining exactly what we can use it for.
it is, yes. If people will read it, that's
It's
what we're
very
hoping for.
explicit.
Yes, it is. So on there, it prioritizes 3 things, but we just wanted to reiterate here that our main concern is the streets and park and rec, correct?
Yeah, yes. I
Yes.
think that's what.
We just wanted as a board to have another verbal on that, so,
Yep.
okay, all right. I will get back to you about the 15th. If you would like some flyers or brochures to pass out, let us know. We would be happy to get you some. Do you have any questions?
Quick question on December 3rd, when you said the video, if possible, is that just, you saying if it can be set up to be shown, or what's the if
Yes,
possible part?
they do have, the option for us to show it there. We're gonna be there at 10:45.
So I think we just need to ask Bobby if it's if
A
it's
little
possible.
early to set up, and so as long as their equipment and everything's running great, it's gonna happen.
Right. Say if we need another projector, I might be able to bring one, or do you have to get it into the speaker system though too, so
They have a
we'll
projector?
try to make.
I'll look into it to
Okay.
make sure.
He's our man for that topic,
Okay.
so he'll
If
take
anyone
care
ever
of it.
wanted to donate 80, 75-inch TV, that would be super awesome.
That would be.
For the senior center?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe this far out, we can make sure it's possible, hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the goal. We're gonna show the video, we're gonna give an introduction, kinda like we did at the chamber meetings, very sweet, short, to the point, reiterate the trifold brochure that you said is very explanatory, and state the facts and give people the opportunity for questions, and hopefully, starting at the senior center, we'll stir it a little bit, and we'll get some feedback.
Well, you chose a good day with the meatloaf day because that's absolutely the seniors' favorite meal out there.
Well, good. Anything else for me?
One more time on the December date, just for everybody at the senior center.
Correct.
December 3rd.
December
December
3rd.
Okay.
That will be our next
wanna make
go-to,
sure
is
everybody heard
December
that.
3rd.
Okay.
And lunch is served, at what time is lunch
11:45.
served?
Starts at 11:30.
Starts at 11:30, people start coming in at 11, so we will be there at 10:45, December 3rd, Senior Center.
We're presenting before the 11 o'clock lunch starts.
My understanding is we're gonna gradually guide into it before they start, correct? And while they're eating.
Now, there is bingo from 10 to 11.
Yeah, we don't wanna interrupt bingo,
Yeah.
so we may have to wait a few minutes.
Not that you wanna
Definitely not.
fight with them.
So we'll wait till bingo's
Then you
over.
start presenting, you know, when most everybody's sat down, starts eating, yeah.
Yes. Have you guys heard anything, any feedback on it yet? Anything about the brochures?
Yeah, I mean, I have.
Okay.
I've heard a lot of good feedback. Talked to somebody, can't think of their name, a couple days ago. I can't think of their name now. They came in, anyway, they came in to pay their water bill, and we're talking about, they had seen it, and they said
Good.
they appreciated having that information. They said it was very, very explanatory, and more than what they had seen before, so they, I think, felt pretty good about it, so.
Good.
Of course, I have no prior experience with anything that's been done in the past, but it was well received, at least by that one individual that I visited
Great.
with. So that's one person, though, so.
I had one person tell me that they were glad to see that the money wasn't gonna go to pay for salaries.
Okay.
And I said, no, absolutely, it's not allowed.
That's good to hear. All right, thank you.
Thank
Thank you, Cheyenne.
Danny, is there any public comments? Okay, old business, Bill 25, or 2025-11.
Okay. Let me find it here. Okay. So this was, so ordinance 2025-11 was the ordinance that was establishing the language, the ballot language for the use tax. Now, what you're gonna see later under new business is a new ordinance, 2025-13. Dale came to me with an idea, and my understanding is he has sent everybody a message and visited with you, and has updated each of you on what we've discussed, but there's been discussion about basically on reducing the current total sales tax in the city from the 3%, so we would reduce it by 1/8 of 1%, which makes it 2.875%. So that actually, if you think about it, the total local sales tax would be less than 9% for the city of Mountain Grove altogether. What you'd pay, the 4.225 to the state, the county's portion, and then 2.875 in city as opposed to the current 3. Clear as mud? Following? So what you'll see is there's that ordinance that will come up later. So if we decide, or if you decide as council that you prefer to go that direction in reducing the sales tax by 1/8 of 1% on the ballot, then we would actually need to kill this ordinance, and we would do a first and second reading of 2025-13 later under new business. Tracking? So,
So we'll have a motion to read
yes.
it, and then,
And then when you
You can vote
vote,
no on the
you'll
motion
vote
to read
no. Well, no, you'll want to do the reading, but then when it goes through, do the roll call vote to do it, to vote for it, you would vote
we'll
no.
vote yes to read it, and then we'll have
Vote
a read
no
it,
to
and
kill
then
it.
we'll vote no on it, if that's the position.
So, and I would open it up for you for discussion if there's questions, and we can.
Any-
Then just to be clear, after we vote yes and have the reading.
Then you would vote
we-
no
would
to
we
kill it.
But we have to have a motion and a second to get to voting. We still wanna
Correct.
do
Yes.
that?
So you'll motion and vote to read it,
Mhm.
and then you will motion,
But like,
Up or
I would
down
wanna
to
make a
accept.
motion to accept it. If I don't wanna vote for it, if nobody makes a motion, then it would die then. Is that kind of what we're thinking?
We'll have a vote, yes or no.
There will be a vote yes or no, and you would vote no at that
The
point.
official vote
See?
that we killed it or not killed it.
Right. Yes to read, no to kill.
Any questions on the sales tax strategy or on the use tax?
I haven't had a chance to visit with you about it, so can you give me just like the high level explanation of it? So what you kinda did, but as far as this doesn't impact like the police and fire and all that stuff that we have set aside.
So
Comes out of the
It's
general
just-
fund.
The 1/8 of 1% comes out of the 1 cent general fund. So the general fund sales tax would go from 1 down to
7/8.
7/8 of a percent. So, the total of the three would be 2.875 at that point. This is only contingent upon the passage of the use tax.
Okay, that was gonna be my
That's
next
key.
question. Okay,
So-
so that's
so
what
it
I
would
wanted to make
only-
sure of. I'm like, are we doing
Yep.
less tax
No, no,
even without
no, no,
that?
no, no.
So, okay.
We would reduce it only contingent upon passage of the use tax. So if the use tax passes, then the total sales tax currently would be reduced to 2.875.
And how soon after the day of the vote to pass the use tax would we reduce that?
Maybe June 1st or July 1st.
It's I'd have to look at the statute, but I think it's the first day of the following quarter that it would be, Dolores would have
And
to
we'll
file
make-
it.
And we'll make that clear to people so that they won't be thinking it's gonna be cut
The day after the election.
Yeah, there's state statute that says that, we'll follow all of the law, but Dolores would file it with the state, and then I believe it takes effect the first day of the subsequent quarter. So if it passed in April, then July 1 would be the official go live.
We'd be sure and tell people that in our educational
Yeah, that'd be on the
session would
promotion
be.
if it passes that way tonight.
I believe that's,
A lower sales tax on all retail goods. All brick and mortar, so lower sales tax.
so, that is,
The
Did you have
idea
a question,
is-
Carolyn, or comment?
Well, I mean,
hold
it's
on just a minute.
the overall sales tax, right? When you say brick and mortar, general or retail,
Well,
it's our sales tax.
that's exactly the same thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So sales tax is always,
Right.
On
But
the
this is
ground.
sales tax, so others don't think there's some other, you
Yeah.
know,
in the business world, we call it a brick and mortar Walmart, or we call it a virtual eBay.
yeah.
So that's what,
Yeah.
reason I said brick and mortar, I didn't mean to skew it.
It was just the retail word, I think that was, yeah.
So the key point here is if you shop local and you continue to shop local, you just saw a savings directly to the citizen. So if they go to Walmart, Ace Hardware, any of their local brick and mortar store, we just saved you money.
But I'm glad that you asked that, Jamie, because I hadn't discussed with anyone yet either. But I was wondering what fund that the reduction would come from too, so the general fund.
Yeah, so I can, and when we get to the ordinance later, we can, and I'll pass it out to where all of you can see it. And actually, I can just do
Because
that now.
use tax money would also be the general fund, so
That
it's
is-
giving
Yeah.
a little to get a little,
That is correct. So there's give and take.
Less
which
tax,
would be
bigger
a
net.
net gain, yeah.
Yeah.
Pass those down. That's the ordinance. I don't think Dolores,
No.
I did not have them, it's my fault, I did not have them to Dolores in time to attach to your agenda. And then take the rest of them and pass them down that way.
I need a motion for the first reading, or second reading.
Of 2025-11. If you need to
Do
read,
we wanna read it first? I mean, or,
Don't we make a motion to read
Yeah,
it?
we have to
well,
do
you'll
the
just
first.
read it by title only, won't you, or are you gonna read the whole thing?
he's got ahead of you here. We're still on 2025-11. What I gave you was what 2025-13,
Yeah,
which is
I'm talking about
replacing
I'm talking about-
2025-11.
Okay.
So if that's the direction you want to go, then we need a motion to do the second reading of 2025-11. And then you would, if you want to go with 2025-13, you need to vote no to kill that. And then later on, we'll be asking for your approval of 2025-13.
I'll make a motion to proceed with the second reading.
Second.
Got a motion by Zach and a second by Jamie. Any more discussions on the reading? John, how do you vote?
No.
Oh, sorry. No, you would vote, sorry,
for the-
That's okay.
would vote.
We'll vote yes to read it though.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
Yes.
Carolyn?
Yes.
Brenda?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, I'll read it. An ordinance of the City of Mountain Grove, Missouri imposing a use tax for general revenue purposes at the rate equal to the total local sales taxes in effect for the privilege of storing, using, or consuming within the city any article of tangible personal property pursuant to the authority granted by and subject to the provisions of sections 144.600 through 144.761 revised statute Missouri, providing for the use tax to be repealed, reduced, or raised in the same amount as any city sales tax is repealed, reduced, or raised, and providing for submission of the proposal to the qualified voters of the city for their approval at the general election called and to be held in the city on April 7th, 2026.
We've heard the second reading. I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, any more discussion on the second reading?
Give me a second.
John, how do you vote?
No.
Carmen?
Yes.
We need a, you need a second.
I'm sorry, I should have said that. You
John
wrote
was
that
the
name
motion,
down.
sorry.
It was blurred.
Okay.
Motion by John, second by Dean.
And you'll vote no to kill it. What you want.
No.
Carolyn?
No.
Brenda?
I think I'm confused.
We're voting on the 3% use tax, if we want to put it at the 3% on the ballot, yes or no?
So, and we want to change, so, yeah, this is a convoluted mess,
Yeah,
but,
if your position is that you want to change to the lower tax rate that we just discussed,
to go from 3 to
then you would vote
2.875.
no on
You'll
this
vote no.
first version
No.
and potentially
Brenda
yes.
voted no on the bill?
Okay,
No.
Jamie, no? No.
2025-11.
Died.
So that killed 2025-11.
We got Bill 2025-12, the second reading.
All right. Yep, I've got it here somewhere. All right, this was on the critical illness trust and pool for the firefighters. An ordinance of the City of Mountain Grove, Missouri, authorizing the city to participate in the Missouri Firefighters Critical Illness Trust and Pool, and further authorizing the mayor to execute such documents as may be necessary for the city's participation therein.
And that was just a title.
So
We
that's
didn't read
just,
the body.
I did not read the body of it, that was just the
Okay.
title, that's what we're doing, but
I need a
As-
motion to read consider the second reading of this,
I'll make a motion to accept the second reading.
or to read the second reading.
No, we just read.
Motion by Zach, second by Dean. Read the second reading
Yep.
first.
an ordinance of the City of Mountain Grove, Missouri, authorizing the city to participate in the Missouri Firefighters Critical Illness Trust and Pool, and further authorizing the mayor to execute such documents as may be necessary for the city's participation therein.
We have any questions or discussions on this bill?
I found a typo. Down below, participation therein, then you go down, whereas, second sentence, second to the last
Oh, create.
word, create, there was a 3 in create.
Where,
Thank you.
I'm sorry, which whereas clause?
Very
First
first one.
It's the word create in the second paragraph there towards the end.
Oh, I
second
see,
line.
yeah, okay, we can,
Okay, we'll
Just
amend
that,
that.
yeah.
Stands amended.
yeah.
Any other questions on this? Need a motion to
Accept.
accept it? Oh,
We didn't have a vote. Yeah.
really? You didn't say it. John, we made a motion for the reading. How do you vote to read it?
Yes.
Yes.
Carmen?
Yes.
Zach? Carolyn?
Yes.
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 It's been read, and
Now
now
I
you just
can
need
make
a motion to accept
I
it.
make a motion to accept the second reading.
A second.
Second by Brenda. Second reading.
No,
I've already read it,
now we're accepting.
now
Now
you're
we're
accepting it.
accepting it.
Yeah, we're accepting it.
Okay, Any more questions on this? Okay, how do you vote, John?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance carries.
Hand that to Dolores.
The next thing in the new business is the SEMA
Okay.
resolution.
Yep. Okay, so we received information from SCOCOG regarding our storm siren. And since Mayor Bushong has taken office, we've got to redo the paperwork so that he can be filed with SEMA and FEMA both. So there are two resolutions. There's Resolution 2025-07, which basically gives Mark the ability to execute and sign those grant forms. So you'll need to do a motion to do the first reading, and I can do that, and then you'll have to do a second reading on that as well.
I make a
Does
motion we
resolutions
do
get two
first.
votes like an ordinance does?
Just the one, just to do the reading and then to approve it.
So it's a two motion item, you're saying two. It's two cycles.
Yes,
I thought the ordinance was because it was in our
Sorry.
books, but I thought the resolution wasn't maybe.
correct. No, you will on this, yes.
Do I have a motion to read it?
I make a motion.
Brenda,
Second.
second by Jamie.
Roll call vote.
Roll call, John?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-07, State of Missouri, designation of applicant's authorized representative. Be it resolved that Mark Bushong, Mayor of Mountain Grove, Missouri, is hereby authorized to execute on behalf of the City of Mountain Grove, Missouri, this mitigation project and to file it with the Missouri State Emergency Management Agency for the purpose of obtaining financial assistance under the Robert T. Stafford Relief and Emergency Assistance Act, PL 93-288, as amended.
This is our first reading.
Correct. Motion to accept the first reading is what you're
I'll
waiting
make
on.
that motion to accept.
Second.
And do we have any questions on this, what it means to us as a city? Okay, got a motion to accept it. A second. John, how do you vote?
Yes.
Carmen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Carries.
Assign this.
I'm gonna do one more item out of order, then we'll go back to the top of the new business. We'll do the FEMA.
Okay, and then on this now, you'll adopt Resolution 2025-08, which gives the, talks about what we're filing, and I can read that once you do the first reading here.
I need a motion to have the first reading.
Motion.
Dean made the motion,
Second.
second by Jamie. John, how do you vote?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Carries.
Local match resolution 2025-08 for the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program. Whereas the City of Mountain Grove, hereinafter called the subgrantee County of Wright, has made application through the Missouri State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, to the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, for funding from the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program in the amount of $37,800 for the total project cost. And whereas the subgrantee recognizes the fact that this grant is based on a cost-share basis, with the federal share not exceeding 75% and the non-federal share being a minimum of 25% of the total project cost. Minimum 25% non-federal share can be either cash or in-kind match, and therefore the subgrantee agrees to provide and make available up to $9,450 of non-federal funds to be used to meet the minimum 25% match requirement for this mitigation grant application.
Need a motion to accept.
Second.
Dean, Brenda second.
And this is also the same as what we did before?
This is exactly the same. All we're doing is
Yeah.
refiling the paperwork with SEMA
That's what I thought.
because David's name was on it. Now we've got to update it to
So the
Mark's.
numbers are all the same.
That's
Emergency side.
correct. for the emergency sirens. That is correct.
John, how do you vote?
Yes.
Carmen?
Yes.
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 It carries.
And before you all leave this evening, this does require each of your signatures. So please don't leave without signing this.
I'm gonna go to the top of the new business. It's got Bill 2520-13. We'll be doing the first and second reading tonight.
All right. Sorry, let me find it again. 25, 20.
I'll need a motion to read the,
Motion?
Jamie,
Second.
and second by Zach. Call it when you're ready.
You gotta do the roll call.
I guess I do.
Sorry, it's all right.
Yes.
John, how do you vote?
Yes.
Carmen,
Yes.
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 Carolyn,
Sorry, I
Yes.
used to be in last vote.
okay. It's passed, we got permission
But
to
you're
read.
not, are you reading the entire thing?
I can if you want me to.
Well, I haven't had a chance to read it yet. So,
Well-
I mean,
well-
I can
Might
read
as
it,
well.
you know.
Yeah.
But I just,
Well, I tell you what, I don't
I
mind
feel like
if
we
you,
should-
if
Why
you,
didn't you read it
Let
the
us
first
read
time
it.
and then the second time?
yeah,
as
I'll
long
read,
as
I'll
you
read the
like
whole
it?
thing the first time, because I'm sure there are some in here that might like to hear that.
Well, and
Well, we
everybody
need
out
to know
there in
what we're
Facebook or
voting for.
YouTube land
Yeah.
would probably like to hear it too. 'cause
That's right,
they
sorry.
can't see it.
Ordinance number 2025-13, an ordinance of the City of Mountain Grove, Missouri, imposing a local use tax subject to voter approval and reducing the general fund sales tax rate by 1/8 of 1% contingent upon passage of the use tax. Whereas the City of Mountain Grove, Missouri, City currently imposes a total local sales tax rate of 3%, and whereas the City Council of Mountain Grove desires to reduce the total local sales tax rate by 1/8 of 1%, lowering the total rate from 3% to 2 7/8%, or 2.875%, with such reduction to occur through a 1/8 of 1% decrease in the general fund sales tax rate, contingent upon the passage of a local use tax by the qualified voters of the city. And whereas, pursuant to sections 144.757 and 144.761 revised statutes of Missouri, the city may, by ordinance, impose a local use tax at the same rate as the total local sales tax rate, provided that the question is submitted to and approved by the qualified voters of the city. And whereas the city council finds that the imposition of a local use tax at the same rate as the local sales tax rate will equalize tax treatment of in-state and out-of-state purchases and protect local businesses from unfair competition, and whereas the city council desires to submit the use tax question to the qualified voters at the municipal election on April 7, 2026, and implement the sales tax reduction only upon voter approval of said use tax. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Mountain Grove, Missouri, as follows. Section 1, use tax imposed, voter approval required. The City Council hereby proposes the imposition of a local use tax at the same rate as the total local sales tax rate as authorized by sections 144.757 and 144.761 revised statutes of Missouri. The local use tax shall become effective only upon approval by a majority of the qualified voters of the City of Mountain Grove, voting thereon at the election to be held Tuesday, April 7th, 2026. Section 2, ballot language. The ballot of submission shall contain substantially the following language as required by Missouri statute. Official ballot language. Shall the City of Mountain Grove impose a local use tax at the same rate as the total local sales tax rate, provided that if the local sales tax rate is reduced or raised by voter approval, the local use tax rate shall also be reduced or raised by the same action. The descriptor paragraph following the ballot language shall read, if this proposition is approved, the city's general fund sales tax rate will be reduced by 1/8 of 1%, lowering it from 1% to 7/8 of 1%, and thereby reducing the total local sales tax rate from 3% to 2 7/8%, or 2.875%. The reduction shall become effective concurrently with the effective date of the local use tax. yes or no. If a majority of the votes cast on the proposal are in favor of the question, the use tax shall become effective on the first day of the second calendar quarter after the Director of Revenue receives notice of adoption from the city. Section 3, conditional reduction in sales tax rate. Contingent upon voter approval of the local use tax as provided in Section 2, the city's general fund sales tax rate shall be reduced by 1/8 of 1%, decreasing from 1% to 7/8 of 1%, thereby reducing the total local sales tax rate from 3% to 2 7/8%, or 2.875%. The reduction shall become effective concurrently with the effective date of the local use tax. If the use tax question is not approved by the voters, the general fund sales tax rate shall remain at 1%, and the total local sales tax rate shall remain at 3%. Section 4, administration and collection. Upon approval, the Missouri Department of Revenue shall administer, collect, and distribute the local use tax in the same manner provided by law for local sales taxes. Section 5, notice to Director of Revenue. The city clerk shall forward a certified copy of this ordinance to the Missouri Department of Revenue immediately following certification of the election results. Section 6, severability. If any section, clause, or provision of this ordinance shall be adjudged invalid, such adjudication shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of this ordinance. Section 7, effective date. The ordinance shall take effect and be in full force from and after its passage and approval, provided, however, that the local use tax and sales tax reduction provisions herein shall only become effective as set forth in Section 3 above.
Thank you for reading that.
Yes,
Absolutely.
thank you.
You're welcome.
That was a lot.
You're welcome.
Much appreciated.
Yep.
So, the ordinance is lower our sales tax by 1/8%, to have us 2.78, and have a lower retail tax for the whole city, and also have a use tax that would be matching. I need a motion to pass this.
Accept the first reading.
Accept the first reading. I make a motion that we accept the first reading.
Second.
Jamie and Carolyn.
Roll call.
John, how do you vote?
Yes.
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 Now you need a motion and a second to do the second reading.
I'll make a motion to read the second reading.
Second.
And then roll call.
John, you want to read it twice? You get to read it this time.
Yes.
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 Ordinance number 2025-13, an ordinance of the City of Mountain Grove, Missouri, imposing a local use tax subject to voter approval and reducing the general fund sales tax rate by 1/8 of 1% contingent upon passage of the use tax.
Make a motion to accept the second reading.
Second.
Do we have any questions by any?
The only question I come across when I was reading it, nothing to do with passing it, but the way I read when it takes effect, and you may have said this, I may have zoned out, is October 1st, in my, because it says the second quarter after they receive that it passes. So if it vote on in April 7th, that's the start of the second quarter. So we wouldn't, then the next quarter would be July 1, and then the second quarter, would that make sense? When the sales tax rate would actually
Yeah,
change?
that box I circled when I had the same question on. You said second quarter, I thought it would go into effect starting the third quarter, which would be,
The third quarter of
That's the
26
first quarter
would
of
be
fiscal
the
year.
second quarter after it passes.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
it's saying.
you're saying
the
it's
first
two
day.
quarters
But just a
before it starts? You
clarification.
don't start until September 1?
October 1.
October 1. That's the
Which would be
first of.
The second quarter after it was
Yeah.
approved.
After the election, essentially. Yeah.
Should be the,
Larry, do you know the details on that part at all?
I was listening to how
Sorry.
it was being read.
so it says, the use tax shall become effective on the first day of the second calendar quarter.
And that would be
After-
July
That's
after.
April
No,
1st.
it says after the Director of Revenue received notice of adoption from the city, which we can't give
Right.
him notice of adoption until after the election.
Which would be the next day, is when we
Yeah.
typically would go up, so that would be.
April 8th, we could notify him, but we don't have two more quarters till, anyway. we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, but I
You said
wanted
the
to.
second quarter of the calendar year.
That's the way, that was the state's language. So I just took that from the, so I'm sorry, that Missouri Municipal League looked this over, and that's their language. So it would be the
Second calendar
first
quarter is
day
April first, but, you know,
of the second calendar quarter
but our next quarter in line
would be the
July
third,
1st.
July
But
1,
it says the
which is
second
when
calendar
most go into
quarter
effect.
It's also the first day of the budget year too.
Correct.
Not that it
We
matters for
can,
that.
we can
Right.
find that out for sure, so we can tell the voters, but,
It's July.
and I figure it takes
That
some
would be,
time
Larry's looking at July.
to get all the.
So it would be July 1.
July.
So we need to
Well, this
amend
would
that
not read correct then.
to say
if it
third
is.
quarter of the
So we
calendar.
we can amend that.
It just
Right.
confuses
And that's
us,
the
is all it
approved
does,
wording,
which
and that's the
naturally.
approved wording for this issue.
That's what MML has
Yes.
sent back. That's correct.
Yes.
Do we want to make a motion to amend this real quick? It's the third quarter.
Larry,
Well,
would it be
I'm
better?
sure that's in place because they probably need time to notify all the vendors of the change.
Well, they
So-
got to print up new signs and,
Yeah, so
That's
that,
like a
all
bill.
that takes time. So I'm sure that's in there for a reason, I would guess.
but you're thinking it takes 180 days after it gets passed, 2 quarters.
Yeah.
I was hearing it's like this is the second calendar quarter, which is April 1st, but in this case, it's going to be July 1st.
But it
So
reads
that's the part where
second calendar quarter after the director receives notice of adoption from the city, so. I mean,
So
to me,
it's
that's
October
plain, yeah. But
So you're
obviously,
saying
we can
October
clarify
1st.
that with the people that know, but that's how I read it, yeah.
So
But
it
we
would be
just
the
need to
third,
make
so it
su-
needs to be changed to the third quarter, which would be July 1st. So that's.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no, it reads right. Oh, you're saying we have the power to do that?
We would need to change that effective the first day of the third quarter, or the first day of the third calendar quarter, which would be July 1.
Then you would strike
Because
out
the
part
first day
after
of the
the
third
director of
calendar quarter
revenue.
is July 1st.
Right, but if you do that, you would strike out after the director of revenue receives notice of adoption from the city.
Well, it doesn't say he gets 180 days or 60 days or 90 days. It just says the first day of that quarter.
So we
And
pass
I think
it,
you're thinking that he's got,
yeah, we pass it April 7th. It passes April 7th.
Okay.
Dolores would send it to the state April 8th, and then it would take effect July,
So
the
you're
third.
saying as long as the third quarter happens and the director receives notice.
The
not-
director's gonna receive the notice April 8th.
Right, but one's not, the time doesn't start after that is how you're reading it.
Will be the third quarter.
I can see that. I don't
it's
read
not
it
a
as that,
time,
but I can
it's
see that.
it's a day on the calendar.
Correct.
Okay.
So you're right, it does need to say on the first day of the third calendar quarter, because the second calendar quarter would be April 1, so it would need to be the third.
I need a
So-
amendment.
Can I interject real quick?
Please, yeah.
On most of your elections, you guys don't certify that until after you guys have a meeting.
The following, yeah,
Certify the following Monday.
yeah.
So it'd be a little.
So Dolores will take it, you have to certify it the following Monday, that's right. Yeah, thanks, Danny.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, that's,
No, we're still the first day of the third quarter. Yes?
But I just want, I mean,
yeah, but what I said,
if the election's the 7th, you guys.
Yeah, April 8th is not
Right.
certified.
right, yeah, it's the following Monday, so the way I worded it is April 8th, we would send it, but that's not true, because you all would need to certify it following Monday.
And if we have the liberty
Thanks,
to do
Norm.
it, I think
Thanks.
we could change a little and say, shall become effective after the director of revenue receives notice of adoption from the city. You know, something like, which would be the third calendar quarter first day of the third calendar quarter of 2026. You know, something like that where it's a little more, where it doesn't look like one's contingent on the other. But if we have that liberty, we can find that out for sure.
Yeah, I think as long as you just say exactly what we said here, the use tax shall become effective on the first day of the third. So all we're doing is changing second to third calendar quarter after the director of revenue receives notice of adoption from the city.
So do we need the motion to
That's
make that
my- I need an
amendment,
amendment.
or?
Which is a motion and a second.
So a motion
Yeah,
to
I'll
amend,
make a motion that we amend it to the third calendar
I
quarter.
second that.
And I got a second by Brenda.
and Zach, if it makes
Do
you
we not
feel
want
better
to-
about it, I will send it back to MML and just confirm
Yeah.
that.
And we're gonna vote
Because
on the
they could
amendment
say,
first, and then
if
we'll vote on
I'm,
the body
if I'm
second.
interpreting, they could say, well, if you do that, you're talking January 1st.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Right, I think that's just in there because it's,
That both have to happen, not.
right, you're gonna certify it, this is when you want it to take effect, but it's not gonna take effect until the director of revenue actually receives it. So they're basically covering their
And
tails
then
saying
it
that they're
starts
not
at the
gonna.
beginning of a quarter. is
Correct,
basically
July
what it is.
1.
So the
That's what
next
we're
one
wanting.
that
That's right.
comes up after
We've
you.
got amended to the third
So
quarter by
Jamie's.
Jamie and seconded by Brenda.
Brenda, yeah.
John, how do you vote?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so the ordinance has been amended by that one date.
To say so basically I'll read that paragraph. It says, if a majority of the votes cast on the proposal are in favor of the question, the use tax shall become effective on the first day of the third calendar quarter after the Director of Revenue receives notice of adoption from the city.
John, how do you vote?
Yes.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
No, we
already
voted on the
We,
the
we,
amendment.
you've already voted on the amendment. Now
This is on the
you're,
body now. This
now
is
you-
the whole last, the
now
last
we need to do
vote.
the, yep, that is correct.
Carmen,
Yes.
Jack,
Yes.
Carolyn,
Yes.
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 motion carries. Ordinance.
That was 2025-13, so pass this on to Dolores. Give that to Dolores,
Huh?
would you?
That was
You've
second
only
reading.
done one.
No, we did too.
We've done two.
Because the first
That
time we
was
read
the
the whole
second
thing,
reading,
second
yeah.
time we did the title.
Yeah.
And then we amended.
I got
And
it.
then
Caught up
amended,
on
yeah.
the people.
Yeah.
Administrator's report from Dakota.
All right, I think Dale, you're doing a great job, sir.
Yes.
You know,
Seriously?
you are, I think so.
I missed a couple of votes.
That's all right, you're all right.
Let's get right over.
That's all right.
There, we'll help you.
Okay, administrator's report, thank you, Mr. Pro Tem, thank you, I guess that's the appropriate terminology here. Mr. Alderman, Mr. Atchison, thank you.
Chairperson.
You all have asked me to provide you with an update on sales tax, so I'd like to give you those for the month of November. We would be, let's see here. This is, got it. We are up in every category. Year to date, we are up $7,100, just over $7,100 in operations. Transportation up over $3,900. Up in capital improvements over $3,500. And up police and fire over $8,000. So
8,000?
over just over 8,000 in police and fire. That is correct for the sales tax collected based on our breakdown. So we are up in every category.
That's in comparison to this time last year.
That is correct. So that's year to date, or this time
Yeah.
compared to last year, correct. Based on math, if my math is mathin', we should see an increase this year on year to date totals for November and December. Basically, we're on target to be up. Is what I'm saying. Questions about the sales tax? Okay. Street grants, let me tell you what I've got going there, because we all know that our streets need some improvements. And so Bo and I went to SCOCOG. We had a great conversation with Sarah Callahan, talking about different grants that are available for our streets. And I have submitted an application with CDBG, Community Development Block Grants, for our streets. The funding will basically allow us to do complete mill and overlay on streets that we've identified as our most problematic. Just heard back today from CDBG that our request for proposal was approved. So that's the first step, or the first leg in the process of getting it. So that was approved. Those have been sent, the request for proposals have now been sent to Grant Writing and Administrative Services. So the state has a list of private consultants, and then of course we have SCOCOG. So to keep it fair, we have to send it and request a bid back from, or not really a bid, but their request for proposal from each of them. We'll rank their qualifications. We'll make a selection. Whoever we select based on that will then carry all of that forward, and it will be out of our hands, and then they will go after the grant. The nice thing on that is no money's paid to the grant people unless we get money. So if we don't get money, they don't get money. But that's nice. It's kind of out of our hands, and so we're moving forward. We've got Bo's brought me a list of streets that he's identified as being most problematic, and we are going to start told Bo and the guys, if we can fix one a year, let's fix one a year. Let's try something, at least do something. So we are doing that. 13th Street. Speaking of street projects, so something that we've said, I've been talking to Bo and Brooke about, is the 13th Street project. So whether we get grant funding or not, something that I'll be bringing to you as a council come budget time is budgeting for doing a complete mill and overlay of 13th Street, as well as we're going to look at the water lines from Julia all the way to Hovis are old and are very problematic. And so rather than doing a complete mill and overlay and not replacing the water lines, that would just not be a good thing, because then if we've got a leak, now it's tore up our brand new road. So we are not going to move the water and sewer out from underneath along, which I think is what was discussed previously. We are going to just go ahead and dig those out, and we're going to do that work ourselves and save that money, and we are going to replace those lines with far better equipment under those. So a lot better pipe. So it'll go from, Bo, help me here, go from the old metal that's currently under there, is that right, to now going to 6-inch PVC, the plastic. So, which will be far greater. I think you'll notice it'll be beyond mine and Bo's time before it comes due to have to replace that again. So, which will be nice. So, we will work with the school district, so that's a pretty high trafficked area for buses. I've already spoken with Denver Mitchell, and he will be involved in that planning process, so that way we can make sure that we've got a safe route for the buses and the students to go while we have that work going. So ideally, most of that work would be completed, at least the mill and overlay, in the summer. Part of that water project may have to start like late spring in order to give that time. The street bed has to have time to settle before we can go through there and do the replacement. So we'll work with Denver and involve him in all of that. So
How does that
Question.
coincide with the work that's gonna be done with the traffic circle and the whole big project through the middle of town?
So I'll have an update on that for you. So I called MoDOT, and I spoke with Jacob Capeter, who is now the engineer in charge and over that project. And he said that they've kicked the ball further down the road on that particular project. He said best case scenario right now would be late 2027, 2028. At the end of that, he kind of chuckled and said, "Don't hold your breath," because he said they've ran into several environmental issues. He did not tell me anything about the environmental issues. He just said that's a whole nother mess that we're working through, their staff. So he said, please don't hold your breath on that 2027 or even 2028 timeline.
Okay.
So that tells me that the state's probably going to continuously keep kicking that ball down the road. Based on every source that I have at the Capitol and what I've heard is I've been told the state will probably dissolve that money and not do that project. The governor will probably make plans to use that money elsewhere. The state budget's going to be extremely tight for the next couple of years, and that's monies that he will most likely use based on, I'm just telling you what I've heard, so it's all hearsay. So you know, don't.
Hopefully at least resurface it at some point.
At some
I was
point.
gonna say, just more in like support of having more for our streets here in Mountain Grove with the use tax and being able to beautify
That's
our
right.
Main
And-
Street, since
well,
we're
and-
not relying on that.
And that's exactly, I think, a good point, Jamie, because when we don't get that type of funding for projects, we have to go after, you know, alternative sources, and eventually those pots dry up, and you can't ever depend on the state for a lot of anything. And so that's, you know, the use tax becomes critical in that. Is you want to upgrade your infrastructure, pass the use tax so there's money to be able to do that. And so, you know, that's the reality that the city of Mountain Grove faces. I'm I'm doing everything that I can to make sure that we're going after those pots of money and not leaving any dollars on the table. If there's a dollar bill, I'm gonna take it. So, I think that's important and
Well,
critical
that's
for
the
us.
key, right, to have diversified funding.
That's
So it's
right.
not always coming from one place, we have multiple sources so that we
That's
can
right.
do more.
That's exactly right.
Hopefully MoDOT will take ownership of Highway 60 here, that's all buckled and on the east and west side of the stoplight here.
Business
It's just,
60.
it's
Business
terrible.
60, yeah. Yeah,
Oh, business
yeah,
60,
yeah.
yes,
I-
business 60.
Yeah, I don't disagree, you know, I
It's
have to dodge it
terrible.
every day in my little car that I drive. You know, I just know one of these days it's gonna drag the bottom out of my car, and I'm gonna be at the MoDOT shed raising Cain, so anyway.
Correct me if I'm wrong, they have to do
You
it,
have
right?
Winterfest next year, we got.
Yeah.
They
They have to fix that stuff, right?
Jamie's
'Cause we
question,
cannot
though.
touch it, right?
That is correct.
I thought so.
Yeah,
Has
that's-
he heard, have they contacted us, or are they aware? I mean, I know their maintenance people drive over it every day, but.
Oh, I know they're, oh, I know they are.
Yeah, but I mean, are we going to touch base with them at
We,
some
we,
point?
oh, we have been.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's, I've talked to MoDOT directly, even mentioned that while on my conversation with Jacob. I said, I'm looking out my window and looking at the worst street buckle in the history of mankind as I'm talking to you, and yeah, we've got a few of those, he said, so, anyway, that's the, it's just,
Well, thank you.
what,
Yes,
so,
thank you.
I'm at least advocating
Sorry
for
for
it.
that
No, no,
segue
no,
there,
I'm
but I was
advocating
like,
for
that
it,
was
I
another
promise.
question that I've
Yeah,
been hearing
no,
is-
no,
And well, some
About
people
that
think
project.
Yeah.
that is our repair May.
Sure,
because
sure.
they
No,
don't-
that's
They
right.
just don't,
That's
realize
right.
that belongs to
Yeah.
MoDOT
We
as
can't
well.
touch that.
Sure, we cannot touch
As
that.
a city, yeah.
Okay, Winterfest update, the empty lot on the square coming along very nicely. If you haven't driven by there, I encourage you to do so. I think it's gonna look very nice. I want to commend Bo and his guys. They've worked insanely hard on that, and I go over there and say, well, here's my vision, do this, and boy, they just bring it right to life. And then, of course, then we come back and we think we've got a vision, and then Dolores gives her opinion, and then, so we pivot and make some changes.
Have the woman's touch.
Want to say something too. There has been a tremendous amount of community support in that lot. I want to thank Seth Harker, donated a ton of dirt for that. So we actually didn't have to utilize a lot of our own. We were able to go out and he donated dirt that he had. We were able to backfill in there. Spoke with L&R. So insurance, Irma, of course, likes to make sure that we mitigate risk, right? And so there's going to be a fence on the what would be the east side, or what I call the square side. There'll be a fence that runs along that, and then one that runs down the side of, is that 2nd Street that runs along there? We had the pipe to do the posts, and then L&R is giving to us at cost the steel pipe that they have to make it look even nicer. So we had to do something for insurance to make sure that we don't have a lot of people in that lot, and then somebody has the ability to drive their car through there and take out a crowd. So we were able to do that. We had to put something in place in order to mitigate that. We went and had a conversation with L&R. They were glad to do something for us, and so that was key. It's been, very much appreciate that. So just good
Yes.
conversation with people. So.
Yep, yes, thank you
And
to
we-
everyone who's helping with that.
Yes, and we were down there, and we literally, Dolores and I were down there looking at it, and we've had people pull in and just say thank you for doing something with the empty lot on the square. So I think a lot of folks are excited about that. Twin Cities update, had a great meeting with State Senator Brad Hudson and other state representatives out at Twin Cities. We received an update on the park and the work that's taken place. Thank you to L&R for hosting that. Many great things ahead. There'll be a lot of things coming out about that. Also wanted just to say thank you to Brenda and Dean for your attendance out there. It was nice to have you both there to join me for that update.
It was really interesting.
It's, I think we learned a lot, and I think those that were there got at least a brand new perspective on Twin Cities, and that's just that what's being done there is not taking place anywhere else in the state of Missouri. The collaboration that Mountain Grove has with the city of Kabul and all the industry is unheard of. And they made specific comments about that. And so they were highly impressed about that. Want to give you an update on Bush Street. So this one was a little bit infuriating to say the least, but Matt Miller reached out from Toth and to let us know that Superior Asphalt was going to rebid that project with their subcontractors. They were beyond, so in grants they have a 90-day window that their bid's good for, and this particular project started, I think, I'm now the third administrator that this project has been with, and Mayor Bushong is the third mayor that this project has been with, and so they were obviously well out of their 90-day window, and so they said, hey, in order to execute this, we've got to rebid it with our subcontractors, so they're going to do that, and then so best case scenario when they would start this project would be late spring, early summer, but I'm staying in contact with Toth and making sure that it is still very much at the forefront of their mind. And that way we can get that.
Question, can that go back up for open bids for all contractors? Or do they get a VIP spot?
It can absolutely go up to bid with all contractors. And I've asked Toth their opinion on that. And he said, while we can absolutely do that, we would have to change the entire application. Like we would have to go through and readjust every bit of the application and the paperwork for that, and that would potentially delay funding even further. So we can absolutely do it, but it would delay the fund. It could delay that funding. So I asked Matt if he and I could talk after the first of the year as we got closer. Basically, what we wanted to do was that allows Toth's subcontractors to come back with their bid, and if it is significantly more, and we're going to, it looks like that we wouldn't get what we wanted, then we would go, and that would be the best case, would then be to rebid it with other companies. And that's basically what Matt Miller has recommended here. He said, I would wait until we get the bids back from the subcontractor to see where we're falling. And he said, I do expect some increase, but he said if it's an astronomical amount, then we would go back to bid with others. So I can keep you posted, and to answer your question directly.
Is our grant dollar locked into a firm price if the grant is right? It's not a floating number.
Correct. But it just delays the ability to.
We're gonna lose so many feet, we may lose 100 feet or 200
we
feet
could.
of street.
We could, yes.
That's the same dollar amount.
Yes, sir. So right now, the current bid was for 150 feet past Carlos there. Basically, what you'd be looking at is that base bid. So we've got right now a concrete intersection at Bush and Industrial, and then a mill and overlay of Industrial from Bush down to where Duraline's entrance is there. So what we would do is we would have to bring that mill and overlay of Bush closer to Carlos or even further that direction. So.
Did we as a city drop the ball on this 90-day window, or did they just not get it over to the crews?
I would assume Toth did, would be the ones that dropped. I mean, again, I'm reluctant to blame anybody because it has been through 3 administrators and 3 mayors at this point.
That was my question. Are you saying
Could
because
we
of our
open
change
bids
in the
back in the
city?
spring?
Yes,
Or
right.
June or
But as
what
far
was-
as executing the paperwork, there was a delay in the previous administrator to my hiring and getting that paperwork executed with Superior. So technically, they were well out of their 90-day window.
It would be worth asking, it was out of the 90 day, we put it in your court long ago, I thought.
Yeah.
But you probably won't get anywhere with that, but.
The blame ultimately fell on us, is where
course.
it ultimately landed, is not executing the paperwork within that time frame. So technically, I guess if you want to be technical about it, even at my hiring of August 11th, it was already way out of that 90-day window even then. So.
We thought that all that stuff was done long ago, but.
Well, yeah, I didn't know until Toth called and said, sorry. So.
Seems like shenanigans.
Yeah, you might try, tell them, hey,
I spent 30 minutes or an hour on the phone with Toth complaining about it, and he basically said what it boils down to, they're beyond their 90 days, and that's what's in that contract, and so they don't have to do anything at this point, so.
Dolores, did you pass out the bills, or is that on?
Oh,
for
and I'm sorry,
water
I've
bill?
still got, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, go ahead.
Water bill?
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Oh,
So I know some, Jamie came to me before the meeting and talked about, some have noticed a higher water bill and what that, and Dolores may have to help correct me here, but really what that boils down to is for this period, this billing cycle, there were more days in the billing cycle, which led to, obviously, an increase. I know we had some that came and visited, said, my bill's $9 higher this month than it was last month, and that's ultimately what it came down to. So, just more days in the billing cycle, this last billing period. So that's what you would have noticed. There was no
duplicate billing, there was nothing that occurred in that sense. It was just a different number of days in the billing cycle.
That is ultimately what it, yeah.
That made people's bills look
Little-
different.
Correct, yeah. So,
I just want that
thank you,
crystal clear.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Because if you do have something that is looking awry, like
Yeah.
call City Hall.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, because, we can't help, we can't even explain it if you don't call us. So
Right.
I'd rather people come in or call us, and we can discuss and talk about it, and the girls up front can certainly help
And how
you with that.
typical is
So
it that we have that big of a sway in billing cycle?
I've only received one bill since I've lived here, so I probably am not the best person to ask that question to.
Because I know we always get them on the same day, but if like the meter read, right? Because
That's essentially what it comes down
that's
to,
what
is
it
when the
comes
meter
down
read
to.
is.
It
So-
just
That's
looks
right.
like for whatever reason, maybe they weren't able to be read then. Maybe some other things came up, or it was just read later.
They had two new guys this time, or that time, reading meters, and it took them a little longer to get it done. It's
But-
basically what it is.
So,
So it's
next
kind of more an
month it'll probably
unusual
come on.
Next month should
situation.
be
It's
less
not a
than-
typical kind of thing that
Right.
happened.
Right.
So,
right. So, a fair point here is, we've experienced a lot of turnover in here, and
Yeah.
getting people hired and
Right.
fully trained and equipped with what they need has been a challenge, but we're climbing the hills, and I think we're overcoming. So
In theory, if the next one's read on time, it should be a little cheaper.
should be, yeah, in theory,
We'll
correct.
see.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
level back out.
That's right.
Hopefully.
Yeah. But if there are still questions,
I
then
think it
certainly
did
call us.
happen once earlier this spring that Brenda and I had somebody that had called us about that, so I think, and that was at the very beginning of the turnover, so
right.
I think that it was a similar thing, that it was just, so I think it's happened twice this year.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Dakota?
I have something else that's actually not in my admin
Okay,
report that I
sure.
need to seek your approval on. So, Friday, we met with, Mr. Summers regarding our sewer plant, and he provided direction on, where the direction that we should go with our sewer plant. And here's the thing, you all heard him, most of you did. We're at a critical point, and it's time to do something about our sewer plant and fixing that, and possibly looking at a new one. Y'all heard him talk about the cost. However, in order to, one of the two things that he said you have to have in place, number one, we have to have the engineering report, and number two was a bond. So we decided, you all decided as a council to put it on the August election for the bond. But I'm going ahead and processing the grant for the engineering. This is the clean, this is DNR's clean, well, I'll tell you exactly what it is, the exact title here. Come on. The Clean Water Engineering Report Grant Application. This is the one that we file with DNR, so we can seek grant funding to get grant monies to do the engineering report. So the grant monies, the engineering report comes out to be 62, I've got it right here. The total cost of the engineering report is $62,500, but we're applying for grant monies in the amount of $50,000, so our local match is $12,500. So I'm seeking your approval on another resolution here, so I'll let you guys pass that down. And I'll explain this in just a moment. I think you need one more, don't you?
Yes.
And then you all can pass those down. So what this is, that you're getting is, Resolution 2025-09, which is DNR's paperwork, which authorizes me, all you're doing is granting me the ability to submit paperwork to DNR to, get the grant funding for the engineering report. Does that make sense? So all you're doing is basically, what I have to do is if you approve this, this gets submitted to DNR, and that basically tells DNR that they can execute agreements with me. I can sign the paperwork for the grant. I don't have to, we wouldn't have to come here every time. Basically, we wouldn't have to wait every month to get you all to put your signatures on something. That this is, all you're doing is granting me the ability to file that paperwork on behalf of the city and pursue that clean water engineering report. So that is what he explained to you, is that's one of two things that must be done in order to even think about getting grant funding for a new sewer plant. So
is this something unique to like Missouri Clean Water and Department of Natural Resources to have this type of paperwork? Because you do grant work all the time.
this is DNR's clean water grant application.
So that's what they require, is that we have this in place.
Correct. So that way, then, basically, that tells them that you as a council have given me the authority to execute and submit the paperwork, which I've already taken and filled out
Right.
on behalf of the city, and then I should be able to sign it and submit it with DNR. Then DNR would come back and say, yep, this is good. Then we would execute, basically, we would pay our local match to DNR in the amount of $12,500. Then we would get the $50,000.
Right.
That allows us to then submit a request for qualifications to an engineering firm, and the engineering firm would come to Mountain Grove, look at the sewer plant. They're gonna test, I forget how many feet he said of sewer line, and basically tell us, okay, we have an estimate of what the sewer plant's gonna cost, but that engineering report tells us exactly what that sewer plant would cost. He's gonna build and tell us exactly what we need.
So the grant is to basically afford the engineering report that's gonna tell us how much
Correct.
we have to spend on the sewer plant
Correct.
eventually, once we know all the
Yeah,
details.
thank
Okay.
you, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you follow real well. I like that. Yeah. You're
I
good.
need to like dumb
Yeah.
it down a little bit
Yeah.
because it's a lot of back and forth, but
Yeah,
yes, that
but
makes
yes,
sense.
this is only
Okay.
seeking grant money to get the engineer,
Engineering.
so we don't have to pay the full 62.5
Right.
for an
Just
engineering
for the
report.
engineer report to know what
Correct.
we're gonna need to do.
Correct.
For the fall.
Correct.
So you need a motion?
I need a motion.
A motion.
Approve,
Dean,
or
first.
second,
Jamie, second. Any other questions? John, how do you vote?
Yes.
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 Yes? Yes.
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 Carries.
Perfect.
Anything else, Dakota?
Not at the moment. When I think of it, I'll let you know. It's been a busy month.
Yeah.
Thomas Dentistry donated a TV for the senior center.
Wow,
Wow.
Outstanding. Yeah,
Yay.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
That was awesome. Well, thank you, Thomas Dentistry, for that.
You get things done.
That's wonderful. Oh. That was,
Before we do it, we gotta read it first.
oh, that's right, sorry. Yeah, that's right. That was, so your motion was to do the reading.
Okay, that motion and second and vote was just to have Dakota read it.
So I'm gonna read it now, and then you'll motion and vote for me to give me the approval. Resolution of governing body of applicant, resolution number 2025-09, resolution authorizing the filing of an application with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources Clean State Revolving Fund Program for an engineering services grant under the Missouri Clean Water Law, Chapter 644 Revised Statute of Missouri.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Jamie, second by Dean. John?
Yes.
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 Yes? Yes.
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 It carries.
All right. And that is all I have as far as admin report.
Next thing is looking at the bills.
I make a motion, we pay them.
Brenda says pay the bills. Dean will sign the check.
Dean
Second.
says sign the check.
John,
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Brenda, Carolyn,
Yes.
Brenda,
Yes,
Cindy.
Yes.
You call me Carla.
I
Carlin.
someplace.
it was Carol and Carmen together,
Yeah, one of you. As a reminder, I need executive session minutes back, so if you still have those, I need those back.
Need a motion to adjourn and go
No,
to executive
yeah,
session?
Yeah, executive session.
Carmen says, made a motion to executive session. Dean is seconded. John?
Yes.
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 Okay. Take a 5-minute break and executive session.
Those are executive session minutes.